Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with Linda Kubota Byrd, who I've known forever, actually, maybe 20 years. But now I currently know her as the president of NCGR. So, first of all, hi, Linda. Um, do you want to tell us what NCGR is or what it stands for?
Sure, I'd be happy to. NCGR stands for National Council for Geocosmic Research, and it was started in 1971
Oh,
by a group of seven people, some astrologers, some MDs, some scientists. And they just wanted to put an organization together that upgraded the education of astrology. So, and they also have related disciplines. So it's not just astrology, it's things like tarot and um, human design and gene keys and all these kinds of things that we're open to. Or yeah. And
oh,
so yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that it was exclusively astrology. So I do like the name. I think it really makes astrology sound very scientific, like National Council of Geocosmic Research. I can see where doctors were involved with that.
Yeah.
So okay, so now you're the president. What is entailed with your job? You're the national president.
Right. I'm also the Sacramento chapter president. And that's how I started with NCGR. I've been the chapter president for 12 years, I think,
Wow.
or maybe more. So a while. Yeah. And they were looking for a national, and I said, no, thank you. No, no, no. Um, but then I looked at the synastry, and my chart, moon is 4 minutes off the NCGR chart, sun,
Wow.
and my Saturn is 27 minutes off the MC. And I've always felt that the NCGR needed better structure. So, so the seventh time they asked me, I said, okay, okay, I'll, I'll run. But I think the key thing, I mean, as I've been in this job, I think the main thing is Pluto's been on our IC. And so to me, it's like restructuring the whole org, just kind of looking what's no longer serving us and how could we do things more member oriented and more efficient,
Mm,
you know?
okay.
So that seems to be the job that I'm I'm being called to. Yeah. And to expand. Yeah.
Nice. How long have you been the president nationally?
A year and a half.
Okay, interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. Um,
Yeah. The term is 3 years, and I'm a one-term president, I said.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, so it sounds like NCGR's focus is astrological education, right? But I also saw something about enhancing or increasing respect for astrology. Is that a part of NCGR?
Absolutely. Yes. It's, I think with Pluto moving into Aquarius, it's a lot around collaboration and putting things into our community. Like we have a Pisces sun with Mercury Cazimi and a Cancer moon. So, and
Wow.
the organization's been very educational or very heady. Um, but now we've implemented a program for chapters to nominate any kind of organization like a charity like the food bank or Girls in Need or whatever it is that we budget $250 a month to contribute to our local communities, not just astrology.
Wow.
Because the thinking is when we contribute to the community, we're raising the awareness and in my hope, the opinion of astrologers that we're just not a bunch of woo-woo,
Mm.
people, that we actually care about our community and that we'd like to contribute to things. So yeah, so when Portland, you know, becomes official,
Yeah.
just put in a nomination and
Yeah.
we'll send money in your name. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Do you want to know why Portland is not yet official? Uh,
Mm-mm.
well, I'll explain. So, everyone, I am the prospective president for the Portland NCGR, and we have had a few changes in the admin. We're kind of basically doing two things right now. We're rallying the crowd to get a group. We do have 10 official members ready to be involved, but the kind of admin team in Portland has decided they really want to grow an in-person group because there's so many online events for astrology. But we used to have the Oregon Astrology Association, which disbanded, and so they really want a Portland group. So we've been setting up. We're meeting the first Saturday of the month from 3 to 5 at the observatory for happy hour, and we've done two of those, and so we have a little group here. We're trying to get a little bigger to get ready to do like actual educational events and stuff like that. I feel like we need like a critical mass of people. And then we had 3 admin people, but now there's been some changes, so I think we're going to have 2 admin people. So we are getting ready to really instantiate. We have one more meeting we have to do to kind of review all the bylaws and then get our second chart and everything like that. So it looks like we're being idle, but we're actually doing a lot of work on the ground over here to try to make sure it's a really strong structure when we do instantiate. And then, but yeah, we in Portland, we're really excited to be part of the NCGR, and we've been missing having a local Portland community. So I know we're lagging, but we're not actually lagging. We are working over here to try to get everything.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fine. Mercury was retrograde. You don't want to do anything with Mercury retrograde, as we all know. So yeah, no, I trust that it's just coming together as it's supposed to. And that is one of the things that sets NGGR apart from the other orgs is that we do have local chapters because people do want to get together and speak astrologies, you
right.
know? And when you are new, then yes, you just gather, socially. And I mean, when we first started, we just gather and talk about each other's charts, you know, or
So that
somebody
happened
had,
with Sacramento too, that it took a while to kind of grow a critical mass. Of
right.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it would go a little quicker than it has. We're actually having a hard time trying to find all the Portland astrologers. I don't know how to get to them. I mean, we've posted on social media and we've done all those things, but really you kind of have to get to them on the ground level to, yeah, I mean, we do a lot of national work, with our school and stuff, but those are not that doesn't mix with the NCGR. That's its own thing. So
Mhm.
so wait, tell
Mhm.
me this, Linda, is
We
Saturn
have enough
going,
people already, Andrea, I'm pretty sure.
we have enough people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have people who already were members who will transfer over.
Okay, okay.
So,
Well, we got to
yeah,
get our last bylaws meeting done. Maybe we'll do that like ASAP this month. And
okay.
then I think we just have to send over a chart and send in the bylaws and we're ready to go. Um,
Yeah.
so tell me this, is Saturn going over the Sun Mercury of the NCGR right now?
Um, getting yes. Yes, it has been.
Oh my
Because
God.
it's been going over my Pisces stellium. Yes.
Well, because I have my Pisces moon at 14, and so like maybe I think Saturn going over
Mine's at
my moon is
15, yeah.
slowing me down a little bit, and really I want my chart's wanting that structure to be really solid, and so it's like yeah. So is your moon at 14? Are we allowed to talk about your
Yeah,
moon?
well, yeah, my Mars is at 12, my sun moon is at 15, 15 something. It's almost 16, I think. And
Wow.
my Mercury is at 9.
So you're
So,
working hard right now. Um, yeah. Well, okay, let's talk about the benefits of joining NCGR. Like, why would someone want to join?
well, the main reason that people do join and have joined is because of the reputation of NCGR and that we're the only org that has 4 levels of certification. So for a long time, we were known as the Harvard of astrological education. But also, I think that the chapters are a real big draw because people do want to get together, with other people. And so that's another thing. And then something that's exciting that's happening is we're restructuring the SIGs, the asteroid SIG. Demetra George came and spoke to my chapter last month, I think it was. And she mentioned that she had some people who wanted to revo redo the asteroid SIG, but we didn't because before it was set up in a weird, like you have to set up a chapter, lots of hoops to jump through. We don't want to do that for SIGs. We just want to make them more study group like,
Mm.
you know, so that
What's a
people,
SIG? Sorry.
I'm sorry, special interest group.
Okay, okay.
And also we want to put more emphasis on research. So we're going to call them surges, because there'll be special interest research groups.
Okay. Interesting.
So before they had to buy, they had to pay membership to that too. We don't want to do that. It's going to be a perk of being a member of NCGR. You can join any of the surges. And I'm thinking, my feeling is with this one, it's like the first one of many, because Demetra George has offered to be the advisor, and we have an advisory board. So I'm like to tap into them to be the advisors of things like fixed stars and financial and just a lot of things that people may have an interest in. And then to bring the research piece into it to teach people, how to do proper research.
Mm.
And then, we have a research journal that's coming out any day now. So, to
So
publish in the
Demetra's
journal.
starting an asteroid special interest group. So for people who are into asteroids, she's going to be the faculty advisor for that.
Yeah, the advisor. And she's got two of her students who are now colleagues who are excited about leading those groups.
Okay,
So,
interesting.
yeah. Yeah.
Is
So
there,
yeah, so you are a specialist in things. You could lead a special mediation group or something.
yeah, I was going to say remediation. I would happily be that faculty advisor for that. Yeah, I think so. So I like what you're saying that a lot of NCGR is about research and upping the field on a kind of education level. Now, when you say there's 4 levels of certification, how do people take the classes through NCGR and then get certified through NCGR? Because I know when I went to Kepler, I actually got certified through NCGR through Kepler, and I didn't actually take classes with NCGR. So how does that work?
Right, right. We have tests, competency tests too. So you don't have to do the program through NCGR. Program is kind of like getting a college degree. It's pretty intense. Yeah.
Is there an actual school, or where does the program
We
exist?
have yeah, online. We have a program that's got the different levels online. So a lot of people will just take the test for the level one, but then as they get more and more um, into it, then it gets, you know, more specific.
So, okay, so
Mm.
I just want to make sure that everyone at the Moira Press School is really clear. So NCGR has a school where you can take classes and then take your certification of level 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is amazing for the practitioner of astrology because it gives you credentialing where you can say to somebody, I am a trained astrologer, I am certified, and that helps your clients know that you actually know what you're doing, basically. So there's that, and then NCDR has all these groups all over the United States as well in different cities. And then it sounds like there's also these special interest research groups that are starting to pop up. Is there a list of those on the website?
No, because we just started. There's a Uranian group that's been around a long time, and they've they're not really operating as a SIG anymore. They're kind of like their own little group. Um, but it's been kind of dormant for a while, the SIGs.
Mm.
So I think because they're just too hard there are too many rules. And that's one thing that we're really looking at, revising our bylaws and things like that. Even with the chapter bylaws, if you think that these are too old, then just tell us, because we're in this big restructuring thing just to, you know, these were written in 1971. So
Yeah.
it's
We
a,
definitely don't think they're too old in Portland. We read through
okay.
half of them and we were like, okay, wait, we need a meeting once a year on this time. Like we're just trying to get all of I could have just read the bylaws myself and sent them in, but I really wanted to meet with the committee or the board basically and like I said, we just restructured the board a little bit, so that's a thing that's kind of stopping us. But basically we wanted to get through all the bylaws to know like, okay, we need to have meetings at this time and because it's just really new to us. And I know that once we're set up, we'll be really golden, but I think setting up at the beginning is it's important. And you guys have been around for, you said 12 years in Sacramento, or were you around long?
Yeah, actually, I think more 14. And there was a group before us that I didn't even know about. So what we did is we just resurrected the old chapter, but we had to start over with the signing the bylaws and all that kind of thing. But yeah, NCGR has been around a long time in Sacramento, but on the West Coast, it hasn't because the headquarters was in Massachusetts. So there's a big contingency on the East Coast, but the West Coast, we have four in California, San Diego, San Francisco, Sacramento, and who's the fourth? LA. So we have, but as far as the rest of the coast, I'm excited because you're starting your Portland one, and we're having one in Seattle, and then one on the Central Coast. We're um, working with a couple of people there.
Wow.
So Santa
You're
Cruz,
really
Monterey.
growing a lot. So with your Sacramento chapter, how often do you guys meet for educational things?
Before COVID, we were meeting every month. Um, and then when COVID happened, we switched to webinars, as so many people did.
Hmm.
And now this year, because we weren't sure how many people want to come back to in-persons, we set it up more hybrid style. So we do a lunch and learn once a quarter. So people just get together and have lunch.
Okay.
Um, we do a workshop, in-person workshop once a quarter, and then we do a webinar once a quarter. So then we could have people from, Europe and different speakers from different places.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
But
Maybe.
it's up to you guys what you want to do.
Yeah, well, that's why we're like taking time with Portland because we're trying to figure out what are we trying to grow. I think in manifestation theory, you have to vision what you're going to grow, and I think I was thinking like this hybrid of online and in person, and the board said no, we want to only do in person, and so then that's why we've been meeting at the observatory in the first weekend. I do have 10 people on a list, but they live all over the state, so it's like even if I email them, we only get a few people. So it's like I think part of it's like here's we're visioning what's really happening on the ground, and then we have our online contingent, and so we're just trying to see what's forming in a certain way, and it's like I think, but I like that idea of having one webinar a quarter, one in person, or maybe we meet every at the observatory once a month in person for happy hour, but then we do like a in person teaching thing once a quarter, and then one online once a quarter, or something like that. So now there are other perks to be involved with the NCGR too. Like, I have this paper that you gave me at
Uh,
Norway, um,
uh-huh.
and it says join NCGR. Joining the NCGR gives you the opportunity to experience astrology through our publications, online learning activities, lectures, and more. It looks like there was a conference discount, so it said 10% off new memberships. Oh, that was you could get a new membership at Norwalk for 10% off. And now it's saying there's 28 chapters across the US and international in Mexico. So are there are international chapters?
Oh, yeah, we have international chapters and we also have international delegates. So we have people all over. So since I come on, we have a new delegate in Ireland
Wow.
and then another one in Singapore, actually that I met at NORWAC.
Wow.
So yeah. And then Frank Clifford is offered to be the delegate for new astrologers. So
Interesting. For the
yeah,
cities,
because there's
huh?
so many new people that they're I think they're just looking for community, as
Wow.
so you many people are, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So Frank is a delegate for that. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So yeah, this says there's international chapters in Mexico. There's two of them: Turkey, Thailand, China, Taiwan, and Japan. That's
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then it was
Yeah.
saying we also have special interest groups that focus on astrological specialties such as Uranian astrology, asteroids, and declination. Okay, fascinating.
Yeah. And I could see, lots of other things that people are interested in, you
Mhm.
know. I think that'd be really just cool.
So wait, if we did a special interest group on remediation, then we could have people from all chapters involved in that special interest group, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we need to do that only because we're trying to saturate astrology with remediation because it makes happy astrologers. But like I felt like I don't think I can really I didn't think I could I thought my NCGR work is like separate from my personal work. It's like I just don't want to break any rules either.
Yeah, no, that you're welcome to do that. It's I just think there's a lot of areas of interest for people. And by us being able to offer specialty groups where people can get together and talk about what they have passion about, I think that'd be just a wonderful benefit,
Man,
beside chapters.
you're good at being president. You got a lot of good ideas. Okay, so here it
Thank
says
you.
local chapters, mix, mingle, and learn with your astrologers. So we've talked about those. Free webinars on a variety of subject designed to educate. So are there free national webinars?
hmm There's two a month. One is in English, and one is oftentimes in English, but the other one is international. So the international ones are free to everybody. The other ones are free to members. And then beside that, many of our chapters have been around a long, long time, so that we do webinars for on Zoom now because, that's the new way of life. And so people on a weekend, there's many choices for different classes you can take. Now, San Francisco and I think Austin offer it for free. We were for the whole COVID time, but we're now charging $10 for members. So chapters will charge usually $10 for members, maybe 15 or 20 for non-members. So, but there's like a menu of different kind of classes you can take.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to find where that is on the NCGR website and share that under this video so that people know how to find those. Because, yeah, that's amazing. Now, it also says there's a research journal published yearly, chock full of articles. Pique your
Mhm.
interest, sharpen your technique. So, what is the NCGR research journal?
It comes out actually every other year, and it's just a journal of different kinds of research that have been going on that people, somebody has taken interest in something and they write an article about, what they've discovered by, just looking at what's in common with this particular situation or something.
Wow.
So, so yeah, so that's coming out, like I say, any day now. I think they were waiting till after Mercury went retrograde or went direct.
Interesting.
So.
I never really thought of how NCGR would be supporting research. I always thought of ISAR, which is the International Society of Astrological Research, but NCGR has research in the title too. I don't know why, I always think of NCGR as more of a social, but it is based around learning and education. It is social though, because I remember I met you at NCGR in Sacramento, correct? Um,
Right, right. You were one of our early speakers.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. But it
yeah.
seemed very social too. I think we went out to dinner and
Yeah, we take our speaker out to dinner and we usually try to I drive them around, and if you want to see Sacramento or some places, I'll drive you there. We're
yeah,
very we're very cordial to our speakers. Yeah, yeah.
that's nice. I'm a little bit jealous at how established you guys are. Like in Portland, I'm just like I feel like I need to feel like we like I used to go to the Oregon Astrology Association. That's how I really learned astrology, and there was a big group that got together monthly, and that's how I envision our NCGR chapter in Portland. Is it like a big group that meets monthly and really, but these things they must take time. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have because went to your class at Portland school. And I would think there'd be, because there are a lot of really smart people there. I would think that they'd be interested
Yeah,
in NCGR, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Portland School of Astrology, I don't know how to access all the students at the Portland. A lot of those students are kind of still around on my Facebook, but a lot of them, yeah, I don't really know how to get to the Portland School of Astrology, and I've lost touch with JP, who was the head of the school, so it's not proving to be as quite as easy as I thought, but we're
hmm
gonna keep working at it, right? Like you just start putting the word out. And this video we're doing is one way to put the word out. I mean, I think, even everyone meeting you and knowing who you are and that you're supporting Portland in this endeavor. I mean, I think this is manifestation right here is that we're really we're gonna move them out with this video. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I think, well, Portland, I'm from Seattle, so that, the Northwest is where my heart is.
oh,
And
nice.
so, yeah, yeah. But it's not just, so we have education, we have journals. I was just going to show you. This
Oh,
is,
there's the journal.
you know, yeah.
Okay.
So the research journal, I don't know where it is, but anyway, we've got, and they're nice journals. I mean, they're
How do you pick authors for journals? Like, could some of the students ever get in one of those journals, or do you
sure.
have to be a member of
Yeah, you just
NCGR?
have,
Which you should be a member of NCGR, but
yeah, we have writers' guidelines, and so people just look and see what they are and just submit.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
interesting.
So
Um,
we do regular geocosmic journal, let's see, every twice a year, and the research journal every other year.
okay.
So, and besides that, we have like twice a month, we have something called e-news that goes out to members, and there's usually an article or two in there. So we're really, it's all about education, so we do that. And we were putting out a member letter once a quarter, but then we had complaints that we were putting too much out.
Oh,
People have too many emails. So we're going to cut the member letter down to once a year, I think.
interesting.
That
So the
but the
e-news
e-news
comes
will
in
still come
through an
out.
email.
What's that?
The e-news comes in through an email.
Right,
Okay.
right. Yeah,
Okay.
you've been getting it, haven't you?
Um, I haven't, but
Oh,
but
let me find out what's going on with that.
yeah. Um,
Okay.
but so I'm personally very interested in the special interest group, and that's actually new news to me. And I think if we can get a hold of that list, once there is a list, then I will totally let everyone on my Facebook know about those special interest groups because that is really cool. Is
I,
Scott? I'm not trying to drop names, but is Scott Silverman involved within the Uranian group?
I don't know who's in the Uranian group.
Okay.
Um, I think it's mostly New York people, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I've heard
but
of this Uranian group floating around, but I didn't know if it was an NCGR thing. Um, okay. So now you guys have a table at Norwalk, right? Like, so if people were a member, they could visit you at Norwalk next year as well.
oh, they can come in. They can email me, and I'll be happy to talk to them about whatever. Yeah,
Okay. Now,
yeah,
if somebody wanted to go to your Sacramento, event and they were not a member of Sacramento, can they get in?
sure. Yeah, all the chapters, everybody's welcome. It's just that members get a discount, which takes me to we offer discounts for a lot of our things. And then when I came in, because it's Pluto and Aquarius, it's like collaboration because my viewpoint is we are all about anybody who is sharing the same mission, where we're trying to introduce astrology to other people, to the
Yeah.
world at large in a sense, that we collaborate. And so we support. So I don't feel competitive over anything because we're all wanting to do the same thing. So I made arrangements with Solar Fire, so Astro Gold, pretty much all of the software that there are affiliates of ours now, and you can get a discount as a member. And
Wow.
then like Astrology University, Stephen Forrest School, London School of Astrology, a lot of these people who, I mean, even your school, if you want to, offer discounts, then these are affiliates of NCGR.
Mm.
So that as a member, you get discounts on these other things too. So
Okay.
it's not just within NCGR itself, it's within our affiliate program as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing. That's a big reason too. That's a big boon. To be a member, it's $70 per year, correct?
yeah. It's only $70 a year, which is such a deal.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me think about how much that is a
yeah,
month. That's
yeah, and it's 180 for 3 years. So
uh, so that's about like, you know, $7 or $6 a month if you're really taking it. Yes, 70. Yeah, that's $6 a month. So really,
yeah,
that's nothing in order to get these discounts on these other schools. You have the access to these free online things. You can go to the NGGR school and get your certificates. Um, what an amazing deal, honestly. And plus it
yeah,
builds
it really is.
camaraderie.
Yeah, I mean, because it's really well, you've been to our meetings. It's just to be with people where you speak the language,
Oh
you
yeah.
know? Yeah, and we go out to dinner afterward,
Yeah.
after our stuff, our in-person stuff. So, and even on our webinars, then I use the meeting format instead of the webinar format so that people can open their cameras and their mics afterward. So we have like a virtual going out to dinner thing, you
Oh,
know, and then we just
after
talk.
party.
Yeah, just kind of, we get to know the speaker better, you
Oh,
know?
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's so important to have these these organizations in our field because they really establish credibility for the field at large. And like you said, there was doctors involved and these other professionals. And I think even the name National Council of Geocosmic Research, that is so just I don't know if the word edifying is correct, but like it really shows that cosmic research is valid research. And it kind of suggests a scientific flair to astrology. Not that that's the only legit. I mean, you could look at it as having a philosophy edge to it or an anthropological edge to it. It doesn't have to be scientific necessarily, to be credible. But I think a lot of people like to look at astrology in a scientific manner, and I think NCGR really helps with that. Now, do you have a hard time finding speakers, or do people want to speak for NCGR?
Usually people want to speak. So I've never had trouble with finding speakers.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I want to put together a speaker bank for the chapters so that when we have speakers that maybe don't have a big name, but they're really good, that these are people that we recommend, or as chapter presidents, that we have, people that like a menu
Right.
of people who speak. So
Yeah.
yeah, we've never had trouble finding speakers.
I
Yeah.
have to say something as somebody who's spoken to a lot of NCGR organizations. It's really cool to see the difference. I remember speaking to Chesapeake, and they were really small, like maybe like four people. And then I was spoke to one the other day. I can't remember what city that was, but there was like 25
Chicago,
people
yeah.
there. Yeah, Chicago. So I think it's really cool to see the different. It makes me feel better about Portland being so small right now. But I think there's just how long the city's been around with the organization. Maybe Chicago's been around since 1971. I mean,
They've been around a long time. Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
San Francisco's big organization, New York, Boston, but they've been around a long time, you
okay, so
know.
that makes a
So
difference.
yeah. And it doesn't, and that's the beautiful thing about, yes, we have bylaws, but the the chapters can do whatever they want, pretty much.
Hmm.
You know, it's
Wow.
just, it's like, so they all start out differently. Some like you guys just meeting for social hour or something.
Right.
Um, Sometimes just like Seattle's just meeting in the president's living room. They're just meeting and talking and doing their thing. I'm might do something in a couple weeks up there at the Kubota Garden.
Oh, wow.
Um, because it's so funny, Andrea. I was thinking about it because I thought, I'd really like to tie in the astrology piece to it. I think we're going to have lunch together and then go to the garden. But then as I was thinking about the garden, I thought, that garden is set up astrologically. Like you enter through Aries, you get to, Taurus, and as you move through the garden, I went, oh my gosh, this is just amazing. So one of the things I like to do with astrology, with teaching astrology, is for people to feel the energy. So it's not just a left brain memorization thing, you
Right.
know, so that if you can feel the energy and we talk about what are the key words and can you imagine that this is Aries energy, as you walk into something new and all that kind of thing. Um, and so, yeah, I'm really excited about it that we can take people through and just feel what does this energy feel like, to be in the Gemini section or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's
We really want
yeah.
to have you in Portland. You're on our list of speakers we want for sure. And yeah, I do agree though. Experiential knowledge is so like embodied astrology is very
Hmm.
um, helps people really like take it because astrology is looking at like tones. Like a sign is almost like a tone or a smell or a taste, or a color. I mean, I know it's a lot of things, but it's almost like describing a smell or something. It's yeah.
Oh,
So
exactly. It's an energy. I mean, we all have our own unique energy signature, right? We are like I say a note in the symphony,
Oh,
you
wow.
know.
You know, the
Yeah.
ancients used to call your chart your song of life, so that in like each
Mm,
aspect clusters like a chord in your song. Now, how
hmm.
long have you been an astrologer anyway?
Oh, I started studying in the early 80s.
Wow.
So, and I did professional, I think around 2000, I think I turned professional.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you're doing great as the president. I mean, I think I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but it sounds like you've helped. I lost a star earring. That's a good omen. I'll take that as a good
Oh.
omen. But that you've it sounds like you've started several new chapters since you've been president.
Well, that's my goal is to start new chapters and to support chapters in whatever way I can. I'm trying to go to different chapter presentations. Like I was really happy that I got to go to yours. It was so
Oh,
good.
that
Yeah.
was so cool that you showed up. I couldn't believe it. I was like, my boss is here.
It's so funny. I'm not your boss.
You're not the boss, me, Linda. No, I'm just kidding. I'd be fine
Yeah,
if you're my
but
boss because we have good synastry. Our moons are on each other, and
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. But I think I just feel well, part of when I looked at the chart and how NCGR was, I just feel like, you know, we really need to be living from the chart. You know, I felt like the chart called me in a
Mm,
sense because I mean we have Libra rising, and so it's, we're very Libra and so forth. But Cancer Moon is like, that's the chapters to me.
oh.
You know, it's
They're
really
kind of like
finding,
homes for people.
yeah, for people to have a home to go to. That's the tone of what I'd like NCGR to carry, is that we are a family, that we create an astrological family for people where we get together and we become good friends, you
Yeah.
know, and yeah, and then the Pisces, just to be not just heady, and this is a Lindaism, I call them, because I'm not speaking for the group when I say this, but it's not just heady, but to really learn astrology on a visceral level, to learn it from not just mental, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. It's so Piscean to like
I
embody
know
astrology, and
it
just
is.
feel it. So I have one more question on my list, anyway, and then I'm happy to talk about whatever you want to talk about. But what is the
Okay.
interview project you wanted to start with NCGR? Or you
What?
wanted to do it like an interview project with more maybe elder astrologers or something like that?
Oh yeah. Well, we do have interviews. I mean, what Rachel Lang she's our marketing person, and she's been doing interviews with different people. So yeah, she's so busy. I I really One thing I really am encouraging is that all of our directors have an associate, somebody who can help them, so that I do think that by interviewing people, especially the older astrologers, that to have them on record for just how do we know them better, you know? I mean, as what do they offer? Also, we're redoing our website, which just takes, I don't know if for anybody who's done a website, it takes
Oh,
much longer than one thinks.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So one thing that we have done differently for this, our website, is to kind of interview the president. So what soon as your official will interview you, and as well, not interview style, but we'll send you interview questions. But it's like, how did you get started in astrology? And what do you do? What do you do? And just different questions about more of their personal feeling toward astrology as opposed to just a big CV, or a bio with I do that, all that kind of stuff. But just so people could get to know each other more on a personal level than just like reading you know, a CV.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, yeah. I think part of the reason that things are going a little bit like slow in Portland is that I don't have any Earth in my chart, so like I'm not a Capricorn. I don't have any Virgo. I don't have so like my Saturn is going over my moon in the 10th, so I'm like trying to like become like a little bit older and more mature, and so like I think I'm just not used to the like the process of like instantiating something like on a earth level, so it's like I think it's interesting. I think if somebody had had more Capricorn in their chart or something like that, they'd be used to like boards and things like that. But not that I'm not going to do a fantastic job once we get instantiated. I think we'll probably.
Yeah, yeah, I have no earth in my chart either, so don't feel bad.
Oh, okay, well
Yeah,
I feel better now. I feel like
yeah.
it's possible
I
for
mean,
the
zero.
president. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think that it is. I mean, all the Capricornian things drive me a little crazy. So I'm really looking forward to Pluto finally doing its final little dance through here, and then we can
yeah,
move into this other place,
yeah,
because I just I think that the whole Capricornian way of doing things is coming to an end in a sense,
interesting.
and that we will be, well, this is again a Lindism, but we will be, manifesting in a different way, I
Yeah.
think. And it's a lot around energy, and
Think it
how
would be
we
like the group first kind of thing, like with Aquarius, like we would.
absolutely, yeah, I start every board meeting with, these are things we all agree on. And it's like, we're member focused,
Okay.
member centric is the most important thing, that in my world, I think member centric is key. What do our members need? How can we best serve them?
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do I do feel that. I think that's one of the reasons we've been kind of like meeting in person to get a feel for things too, is to be like, what does this group organically want, and I think we're still getting the like we had a certain board members, and now we're kind of shuffling a little bit again, and we're like, okay, no, I think this board would be a little bit more sustainable and stuff like that. So I think, it's like, but it does kind of also is informed by like the group ethos, or what the group is wanting. And I think yeah, this is really cool. I mean, I just want to say thank you for even encouraging Portland to do this. We've been really sadly lacking in a local community, so we are enjoying our first day of the month at the observatory. And if anyone watching this wants to
That's a
join the
great
Portland
place to
group,
have it.
I
Gosh.
know, right? I know that was fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. What day is it that you meet?
we meet the
The,
first Saturday of every month from 3 to 5 p.m.
ah, cool.
So,
I'm gonna write that down just in case. First
so is
three
there
to five.
anything else I want to show people this cool bookmark, the National Council of
Oh,
Geographic
right.
Research Mercury retrograde bookmark? Isn't that cool? Okay.
Yes, it's cool.
And it
Yes.
says membership benefits. I'm going to read these. Excellence in education, local chapters, community building, certification, free webinars, publications, member discounts, and more. So that's I think we talked about most of that. Is there anything else
Yeah.
you want to share with our group at the Moira Press School, Portland?
No, just that we're a 501(c), so anything you attend with us is right. You can write off your membership dues. Your $70 a year is write offable. So I think that's helpful.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and then just if you want to take classes through Tony's Astrology University or any of these other things, and if you know other schools, like if you want to, become an affiliate, we'd be happy to welcome you. And so,
Of course we do.
like I said, I just feel that collaborating is the time is this is the time for collaboration and to support anybody who shares the same mission, you know. So yeah, so
Well,
definitely.
let's rally Pluto and Aquarius together, and let's go community as and and let us know if there's anything we can do to support NCGR at large or in total. We would love to affiliate with NCGR. I don't know how our student body is probably smaller than some of these bigger universities that have been around for a long time, but we will do what we can, and we'll rally around NCGR. And maybe some of the students at the Moyer Press would love to get certified through NCGR eventually, and that would be
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, Astrology University, Tony teaches a lot of his curriculum is aimed toward NCGR certification.
Oh, nice. Is
So,
that
yeah.
Tony Howard?
Tony Howard, yeah,
Okay, okay, interesting.
yeah,
Cool.
Tony, who used to live in Portland.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you know Mark Dodich? Mark,
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah. You might check in with him to see if he wants to join. I don't know how I haven't seen him for ages.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of went out of astrology, but he was a phenomenal
Yeah,
astrologer.
he was, yeah.
Of course, I'll harass Judith Hill to see what if she wants to hang out. She's so busy with her school. She has a school too, so um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of a sad, happy experience when all your friends are famous and old, and like you can't get to them, and you can. It's kind of weird. You deal with a lot of really well-known astrologers, so you know what it's like, right?
Yeah. And if they just want to support, that because even like, Eric Roth and Ashland, I think he's a member. He is willing to be a member of your chapter.
Okay.
But Eric can get together with his little group down there. They used to have a chapter in Ashland
Oh,
until Mary Plum moved away, and then it kind of fell apart. But
hmm.
Eric was going to start a chapter down there.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, so your chapter could have, a branch in Southern Oregon.
In
It
Ashland.
doesn't have to be, yeah. But I'm pretty sure that you have your 10 because I remember. In
So
fact, you
we
have
we
more.
do have our 10. It's like we have our 10 and we're like figuring out our in the people who show up in person because that 10 is it's not a theoretical 10, it is a 10. But
Mhm.
there are a lot of them are not necessarily in Portland proper. Like Demetra's part of our 10, but she lives in Eugene and we don't see
Mhm.
her in person. So but
Yeah.
so that's why another reason to do one of our events online and then have one in person perhaps and do like a hybrid like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Just having a meeting, online. In fact, yeah, with the Santa Cruz group, I met with them
Yeah.
online and we just talked about it and who wants to step up and do, be part of the organization and who, how would you like this to look, kind of thing.
So you in Sacramento, do you meet with the board separately and then you have meetings for the public group, both?
Right. The board, because we've been the same board for a long time, although we're just now adding other people, or we've had a turnover. Um, but the bylaws say you have to meet every month, every quarter or something like that. We don't meet that often.
Oh,
Because I'm one of these people, I'm not going to have a meeting just because I'm supposed to have a meeting. If there's not something to do or say at the meeting, then because we used to have these meetings and it's like, who's going to bring the snacks to the next thing? Shall we have this and that? It's like, oh no, I have better things to do than to talk about things that just because it says you have to have a meeting. And
oh,
so, yeah, you didn't hear
interesting.
it directly from me, even
That's
though I
what that's
said,
what we're doing in our meetings is trying to figure out like wait we need to meet how often and like what is it we need to schedule and like so I think like we're a little bit afraid to break the rules, which is why we're still trying to figure out the rules. But it's like it sounds like
wow.
they're not super. I mean, it's not that they're super flexible, but it's not like we're gonna get in trouble if we break a rule, kind of thing.
No, they were set up for beginning. But no, if I have something we have to decide as a group, I'll have a Zoom meeting or something. But they're kind
Okay.
of as needed. But what we do is we meet once a year for a full day. And we have a potluck and we just sit down and talk about anything that we feel needs to be enhanced or whatever. And then we set up our schedule for the year.
Oh,
So yeah.
interesting.
And
Okay.
it's really fun. They're really fun that we get to do these things. Yeah.
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 All right. Well, it was anything else that
I was
we.
looking at my list, I think. Yeah, there's no lack of education. There's just lots of opportunity. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are definitely interested in these special interest groups. We're going to instantiate Portland within the month, perhaps, and we are, yeah, everyone, if you need anything from, you can always email Linda, but in order to become a member, people just go to the NCGR website and then there's a become a member tab right there. You just become a member and then they can pick the city they want to be a member, or if they want to be in Portland and we're not quite ready, you can do member at large, correct?
Yeah, just do member at large, and then when you submit your list of members, then we'll just move them all over. The ones that were members of a different chapter, they have to ask to be moved because you don't want to just move people arbitrarily. So, but yeah, like you have over 10. I when I looked at your list.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, it's not that we don't have enough people. It's that we are trying to get like make sure we know what we're doing before we be really like are like we're officially a chapter because we don't want to do it and then do it wrong. So it's like, and plus, like I said, our board is we're kind of getting shut. Like anytime you're a startup, I think it's important to realize like startup companies or startup groups are a little bit more like they kind of form and then have some like pinches and then they form and then they pinch and then and it's like I think by the time we get set up we just want to be really solid and you know just have it really stable even though it's a startup basically. So
Yeah, I think right now everything's kind of in flux. So, it's just you just need an official president and an official treasurer, and
yeah.
anything else is whatever.
Yeah,
So,
we had a
yeah.
president and treasurer, and now I think the other person's going to become the treasurer. So then I think we're actually yeah. So I know we're doing a little open process. Like people listening are probably like, you guys don't even know what you're doing, but it's like the reason to have this meeting with Linda is to let everyone know that NCGR exists in total all over. And also to kind of let them know about the Portland chapter. And so if they do want to get involved, reach out to me, please. I think this video is a twofold, and then also letting the Moira Press students really know about NCGR. So it's all of those things.
Right, right. And they don't have to, even though, the original intent was for people to only meet in person with these chapters. But now because of the way we do education, you could have people from other states, other countries to be a member of your chapter.
Wow,
Because if you did webinars once a quarter or something like that, then they would be involved in those. So, yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Far more flexible than, the bylaws. And like I say, if the bylaws look too pinchy, let us know because we are in the process of, upgrading or updating and upgrading most of our most everything.
All right, well, we're still trying to grok the rules so we can follow them or break them. But
Yeah, yeah.
we're
Hmm.
right there though. Well, thank you so much, Linda. I'm gonna go ahead and post this for everyone to see, and I will tag you
Okay.
in it. And
All right.
you'll be hearing for us in like ASAP.
Excellent. I'm so excited, Andrea. You're going to be just such a great president. Yeah.
Well, I'm committed. Like in my manifestation work, in my visioning, in my journal, I write about it and stuff like that. So we're really gonna make it happen. So
Yeah. Yeah. And too bad. Did JP move? Oh, go ahead.
no,
You can stop the
JP,
recording.
JP, no, the school shut down, and then he's on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook, and I don't really go on Instagram, and so we just haven't talked in years, and I don't know how to quite get a hold of him. It's just that kind of thing. So he's still in Portland though, but from what I've heard, he's not really doing astrology stuff. So I think he
Hmm.
might just be taking a break or something.
Hmm. 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 Yeah. Well, I'll try to think of who else might be there because Aubrey, oh, shoot, Aubrey. She used to teach at the school too.
Oh, Aubrey Bernier. No,
Vocational.
no. Aubrey. She did vocational astrology,
Yeah,
right?
she does vocational. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love her.
I
Um,
do too. Yeah, she stays part of the time of the year up in Seattle or Bellevue,
oh.
but I think she still has residency in Portland.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Uh,
pulling people out that I haven't thought about in years, but yeah, I could start reaching I like yeah, it's all of it, right? Like we have to do all of it, reaching out to people, like it's you know. Saturn's gonna back up on my moon for like 5 months, so I'm sure I'll be doing a lot of work there. So I'm not afraid. I'm gonna work hard every day.
I know Saturn's been dancing over my little stellium for a while.
Uh,
Yeah,
Saturn
yeah.
on
And
Mars, that's
my
always fun.
possessed son is squaring all that, so
Oh wow. You're really working hard. You're really working
I
hard.
am. I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing your time with us. I know you're busy, so this was a
Thank
blessing.
you, Andrea. It's been an honor to be with
Oh,
you.
all right. I'll see you soon. All right.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.